You had the power all along, my dear. We have just forgotten and we're waking up to it. Remember who you are by forgetting what they told you to be. Look, we look through our lives, how many bloody people have told us what we should be, what we should think, what we should do, how we should respond. Enough of this stuff. We decide what happens in our lives. We decide what we believe.
What you're about to watch is a segment by David Icke recorded in 2014 from his appearance at Wembley Arena. And I encourage you to listen with your heart. These are more than words. This is more than just a speech. This is a signal that was put into the field at that time for a reason. I'm pretty sure it was sent through him. And these words truly have an impact beyond imagination if you allow them to go into your heart and then act upon them. Here's David Icke.
Is it a lost cause? Is it a lost cause? No freaking way. We're waking up to it. People say, what are the solutions? That's the solution, because everything comes from that. Joy, love, peace, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion. All these things will transform the world. And there's so many people in this world who are already there. But they need to put their heads above the parapet and express that instead of hiding it and hiding away from society. Which one wins decides which society we live in. The way we have expressed ourselves through generations and generations, thousands of years of what we call human life, has got us into this situation. And so we need to change that to get out of it. And the difference is being in the program or being conscious beyond the program. It is absolutely that simple. And once we're really conscious beyond the program, there'll be nothing like fear of expressing yourself within the realm of the program. Because some people kind of suss the program, but they've not got so conscious that they've gone above fear so that they can actually express themselves within the program. They've sussed the program, but then they keep their heads down and their mouths shut because they worry about the consequences of challenging the program. That's not in a conscious state. That's a greater awareness state. It's not a conscious state. A conscious state coming from the heart. The heart doesn't do fear. Bollocks to that. Fear, heart. Love is beyond fear. It's beyond time and space. The realm of fear. Thus, it does what it believes to be right. Whatever that is and whatever it takes. And when we reach that level, there'll be so many people speaking out and expressing themselves in the program will get absolutely dismantled by people waking up and expressing that awakeness. You know, it is so simple. How do we change the world? We change ourselves. How do we change ourselves? We step out of the program and become the conscious infinity forever that we are. Well, the way through the walls is becoming conscious beyond mind. It's breaking out of thought and going into intuitive knowing, into a state of awareness that is beyond thought. It just knows. You know, we do the body language. It's telling us. We're saying, hold on, I'm thinking. And then we go, look, I just know. Because that's where knowing comes from. And what am I saying? Reversing the inversion. Going from interacting with this reality through the gut and the emotions and starting to interact with it through the heart again. Oh, we can do it. It's a choice. We can do it now. We can do it tonight. We can go on doing it after tonight. It is just a choice. But people often don't make the choice because they think, well, the consequences of making the choice, well, my life will change. Yes, it will. For the better, overwhelmingly. Once you start to break out of it. The divine light is always in man, woman, presenting itself to the senses and to the comprehension, but man rejects it. We just have to let it in. You let it in through the heart. This is a wonderful lady, Alice Walker, wonderful lady. The most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any. And that is the greatest dismantling of human power that this archontic force has is selling the perception that we don't have any. You had the power all along, my dear. We have just forgotten and we're waking up to it. Who do we answer to? David Icke? Do we answer to Ethel Jones or Charlie Smith? Or do we answer to I am infinite awareness, all that is, has been, and ever can be, having an experience of that name? That is the revolution of self-identity, from experience to that which is experiencing. Imprisoned by walls that we build for ourselves, and the system helps us, encourages us to build them. Perception programming, we accept the imposition of belief from other people, whether it's parents or academics. No. Blank sheet of paper. I decide, the I decides what goes on that paper. In other words, what I accept as my reality. I don't care how many letters you've got after your name. I don't care if you're freaking famous. I don't know who you are. I don't care if you're my mother and father who are trying to impose their belief system upon me. I am infinite awareness. I will decide what my belief is and how I perceive reality. And that, again, breaks out of this program of responding to how others tell us we should be. And we've got to kind of realize that there will be resistance to that. People who go, oh, yeah, what about you, when you start to resist the program. But it doesn't matter, because if they can't respect our right to be us, well, what we bother in being around them anyway for? It's about dropping the actor's mask or realizing what the mask is. That it's just an experience. It's just a point of attention within infinite reality. And when we leave this body, we'll move our point of attention. And we are doing that infinitely forever. That's as bad as it freaking gets. And if we go on accepting the program, go on accepting externally implanted beliefs, then we're just pawns in the program, pawns in the game, and we've given our power away. What are we doing as infinite reality? Having our belief systems externally imposed. We have infinite reality, infinite possibility, infinite potential to choose from and manifest. Why are we having people tell us what we are and what we should be? When we choose not to do that, when we choose not to fall into the program, then we start to make a positive difference in the world, because by disconnecting from the program, we are taking its power away, one by one by one. And when we get caught in emotion, that's what we're supposed to do, and our freaking challenge, overcoming emotional impulses. You know, I know that as much as anybody. And once we fall for the emotion trap, we're not in the now. Because when we worried about the future, we pulled into a future that actually doesn't exist. We're pulled into a place where we can't do anything. We are powerless, because you can't change something that doesn't exist. And when we have regrets, emotional regrets about the past, we're pulled into the past that doesn't actually exist. We're pulled out of the now, which is the one moment where we can change everything. I am not what has happened to me. That is an experience that we have had to this point. And it's brought us to this point. And some of the things we haven't liked have been good for us, because it's given us experiences that have helped us to become more understanding of everything. But I am not what has happened to me. I am where I am now. And at any point in the now, we can make a new start. And whatever has happened in the past, however bad it was, however we regret it, however we don't like it, we can start anew now, anytime we choose, and build a different world, a different reality, a different human experience for ourselves. We have the power to do that, as long as we don't fall for the program that pulls us into the past and the future. I am not what I choose to, I am what I choose to be now. And tonight, anytime, we can choose to be something different. One can have no smaller or greater mastery other than mastery of oneself. This is the revolution. Mastery of oneself that takes us out of the program and ceases to have us being a computer terminal on someone else's matrix. Socrates said, the secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old or fighting anything, but on building the new. And this revolution is about building the new. And by building the new, by the very definition of doing that, you're challenging the old. You're replacing it with something else instead of fighting it and becoming an expression of what you're fighting. What you fight, you become. Remember who you are. That is the revolution. And having the initial courage, but you soon get past that and the need for it, to express who you are, no matter what people say about you, do about you. Can you remember who you were before the world told you what you should be? That's the starting point. Let's now, from this point, start to be who we are and not what the world is telling us we should be. People think that what we call oneness is like everyone's the same. That's the opposite. Oneness is the oneness of all possibility. So to express the diversity and the differences and the uniqueness of infinite points of attention is to celebrate oneness, to celebrate being part of all possibility. Remember who you are by forgetting what they told you to be. Look, we look through our lives, how many bloody people have told us what we should be, what we should think, what we should do, how we should respond. Enough of this stuff. We decide what happens in our lives. We decide what we believe. That's what freedom is. It's not freedom to have imposed external beliefs. It's freedom from external imposed beliefs. We are one. We are expressions of an infinite awareness. If you don't become the sea or the ocean, you'll be seasick all your life. And when you open your heart and you open your mind to sync with the heart, then you start to interact with the sea. That sea of infinite knowledge, awareness. You just know what's right. You just know where you have to be tomorrow because this is telling you, and you follow it, and suddenly amazing things happen because you followed it. Where if you followed the head, oh, can't go there, that's silly, you will not have those amazing experiences because you've cut them off. The revolution is to take that awareness of self and bring it into the program. And with that, the program will dissolve in the sight and the power of that energetic change that it will undergo as a result of that energetic transformation that we bring. That heart-centered awareness beyond the program, beyond body-mind, that we need to connect with, we need to become part of, because it's the true self anyway, and bring that in an expression in the way we live our lives into this program. That will dissolve the program and start to manifest that reality here. That's all it is. We don't need minutes and committees. I don't even really need vast protests. We need to transform the reality by becoming another reality and expressing that reality within this one. This reality will not survive that energetic onslaught of the natural order, of truth, of love, of peace. It won't. And it depends on us not doing that.